Everyone. We're so excited to all gather today, and let's talk about a novel painless solution for skin laxity. I'm going to introduce myself first. My name is Joanne Jiang. I am a scientist by training. I am a pharmacologist. I have a PhD in pharmacology from Indiana University School of Medicine. I studied skin laxity and metabolic health since 1990. 30 years of research. I spent the first 17 years with large pharmaceutical companies such as Bayer and Sanofi, inventing diabetes and obesity drugs. So as I invent these billion-dollar drugs and get them approved by FDA, running thousands and sometimes 10,000 as large as 10,000 patient clinical trials in 40 countries in the world, we begin to observe there's skin laxity forming always when people lose weight. And also as we age, skin laxity happens as well. So I am a scientist that I focus on non-invasive solutions. So although I've worked on new drugs, but I also have my heart focusing on non-invasive solutions to boost collagen and also to tighten the skin on our face and our body. So in 2019, I founded LeaderMed and also UltraSculpt in Princeton, New Jersey. And I led our scientist team and focused first on getting a drug that is 4 times better than Ozempic. And it is a peptide that's GLP-1, GCGR, dual target agonist. And it is also the world's best fat reduction drug. And that drug, we finished a 634 patient trial in the US and have shown excellent 4 times better fat reduction than Ozempic. So along the parallel track, as we do the drug discovery, we also designed and tested UltraSculpt, which we found the most effective modality, the specific frequency of ultrasound that can disrupt fat cells without hurting any other cells, and also the same frequency that we found when we use as a low energy level can tighten the skin, which Dr. Amy Lewis will share with us a lot more later on the detailed data. So next slide, please. So as all the experienced doctors out there today and very successful med spa owners, we really want to work with you not only to provide all the clients and patients a very nice skin tightening method and solution, but also later on we'll talk about how to use AI to train our AI to assess the skin laxity as good, almost as good as the most experienced eyes from dermatologists around the world and other doctors around the world like you guys and Dr. Amy Lewis. So if you look at the left side of the PowerPoint, here we're showing one treatment of UltraSculpt had successfully reduced the waist about 3 centimeters in her upper ab and lower ab, and about 2.3 centimeter reduction in her mid ab. So why we're able to achieve such amazing results in one treatment? The reason is the 3 modality we listed here. So first, we have a collagen-enhancing microRNA-infused cream and serum. And this I have co-invented with the ex-Procter & Gamble Skin Science R&D director, who was also my graduate school research buddy. So we wrote this patent 4 years ago, but in 2024, microRNA has won the Nobel Prize, if you heard about it. So we designed this short microRNA that would boost collagen level. And again, the data will be shared in about 10 minutes into this webinar. So I wanted to call all of you to look at the data, the exciting data with us in a little bit. And the second and the third modality is the unique patented ultrasound wave, which is labeled the number 2 on this transducer. So we can use this transducer and use this cream to conduct this very unique, our own ultrasound wave into patients. And then the third modality is called the advanced negative pressure vacuum. And this serves as a very nice promoting the loose fat from the disrupted site into lymph nodes rich area, such as the groin for the ab treatment. And also we can use the massage for the neck area and massage it into lymph nodes into the lower neck. And also we could use the vacuum for underarm area tightening and fat reduction and move it to the lymph nodes rich area in our arm, underarm area. Next slide. So I wanted to focus on more innovative real-world evidence database initiative as well. So UltraSculpt now is a device that's available on US market. We got FDA clearance 2 years ago, and we chose to work only the KOLs and the top leading doctors worldwide, the dermatologists and plastic surgeons. And we have 2 versions of UltraSculpt on the market available. On the right-hand side is the tower version, which is really easy to roll between your treatment rooms or your different spa rooms in the med spa. And on the left side is the desktop version, which is very easy if you have multiple practice and multiple locations of your med spa to use and share. So go back to the real world RWE database. That would be we will be the only device company in aesthetics, I believe, that are collecting this kind of clinical trial data. Since our products are already approved, why are we still doing clinical trials? Some doctors may ask. Well, these RWE trials are very different than the clinical trials which people usually do to prove that their product is safe and efficacious. But in our RWE trial, this is very highly valued by both FDA and our healthcare industry. The reason being that the development trials are usually in an artificial environment because people have to wash out their other drugs and then they also have to come to the clinic every week to either get injections or get treated by a medical device. But RWE trials are conducted in a real world setting where you treat clients and patients in a everyday relaxed environment. And then UltraSculpt can certainly be used in this kind of environment where people have no pain, but they have very good results before and after. So with that nice contrast, and then if we work together, we're able to capture that skin laxity, the photos, so that we could upload into AI algorithm database so that the database can serve as 2 purposes. One is to help all the colleagues we share with doctors and med spas all over the world. We can share our experience and then learn about how to best address skin laxity together. And then also the database can be used to train that AI so that AI can help recommend solutions. Of course, it'll be under your supervision, but then the AI would relieve a lot of the routine reading work for you. So which are later on our Akkio's colleagues would go over that with you. So with this RWE database, it's a very unique SOP that we will share with you if you join our program. And then we will teach you, which is not so much work. If you just have your team follow the SOP, they're able to deliver the treatment, collect the photos, upload into our designated software, but then you would get to co-author critical publications in skin laxity area, which is a big public pandemic now because of people's aging, population are aging, and also just because GLP-1, which is nice for people to lose weight, but since they lose weight, they'll have skin laxity, and so far there's no good database or good solutions that is painless out there for this in the world. So we're doing something very noble so that we're contributing not only your facility into treatments, into relieving skin laxity, you're also working with us so that the data, the non-confidential data of skin laxity can be used to train a very unique AI and also to be contributing to discovery of even better and drugs and better devices down the road for the industry. So you're contributing to humankind, the advancement of knowledge, and also the advancement of medicine in the future. Next slide. So we went a little bit through this already. So we want to definitely focus on using RWE trials to drive data-informed innovation in non-invasive skin tightening. And also we want to enable discovery of novel treatment using the deeper understanding skin laxity of the data that we collect, all of us collect together. Next slide. So the collect of large-scale treatment data comes from all of us. So doesn't matter if you're an experienced med spa owner or a doctor of internist or dermatologist and also neurologist even, as long as you have a wellness section of your practice, we can work with you and train your team, and then they can help you to collect those data and submit into our database so that you can later on join our publication and set new standards for skin laxity for aesthetic medicine field. Next slide. So, and the benefits for all of you who decide to join our program include the following three big aspects. One is you gain the early access of data because it's all non-confidential data, but it's capturing the best before-after readouts from the scales that Dr. Amy Lewis will share with you. There is a scale that dermatologists use normally to assess the skin laxity. There's a score, and then we would always have a discussion group to exchange our best practices in addressing and tightening these skin laxities. And also you get to co-author publications, and then we'll present to medical conferences together. And also, most importantly, you're pulling passive income in your clinics and med spas. Passive, by saying that, we mean that you can teach your team how to give the UltraSculpt treatment under our training so that you don't have to be giving treatments yourself as a doctor or med spa leaders. Your team would be very well trained under UltraSculpt team and Akkio Tech here, so that they're giving the best treatments to your patients/clients. And also we're collecting the data, and the data is used to train AI, which in turn, AI can help you to relieve that routine management work of your clinic on patient outcomes and to share the best journey of tightening skins and reduce fat for patients. So all this is billable. So your team's hour will be well compensated, and about how to best integrate this kind of income generating practice into your clinic. Our commercialization officer, Grace, will share with you later on in this seminar as well. So with that, I wanted to introduce Dr. Amy Lewis, so that Dr. Lewis will share with us all of her experience and her expert understanding of how to best address skin laxity.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this webinar today. I am a cosmetic dermatologist in New York City. I founded the dermatologic laser and cosmetic area division at Yale, and I train a lot of dermatologists and the residents there. I love being on the cutting edge, and I have been a consultant for a lot of skin care brands and for different device companies. And I lecture, internationally and nationally. And I was really happy to get involved with UltraSculpt with Joanne, who is a very brilliant scientist and has a lot going on in her background, and has decided to help us all with our body sculpting and tightening. So that's why we are bringing this to you today, because it is a new novel technology that I think could be a really good asset to a lot of practices. So this is a big buzzword these days, is Ozempic face, right? I mean, we're all hearing it from the Ozempic, from the Zepbound, and really it's not the drug itself it's not the GLP-1 itself that's causing this, it's the rapid weight loss. And after you have a rapid weight loss, you see more wrinkling, sunken eyes, more prominent bone structure, the lips get thinner, the saggy skin. So basically what we're seeing is the results of the loss in volume and the loss in elastin and collagen. So you get that sagginess. After the age of about 40, we see that if you lose too much weight in your face, you're going to get that sagging. And so what we'd like to do is we need something that's going to increase the collagen, the elastin, and help with the skin laxity. And we all know that this is something that we have to almost choose, like, is it your face or your butt, right? So that whole thing is, well, if your butt's in great shape because you're in excellent athletic shape, then your face is probably going to be too thin because it means you've been working out so much that you've also diminished your fat and collagen underneath your skin. And besides being just Ozempic face, we see this in people before Ozempic was around, in people who just lose collagen and elastin with age. Next slide. So I don't know if everybody knows this, but it's really in your mid-20s where you start getting a decrease in the production of collagen and elastin. It's kind of scary if you think about it, because we don't think about having any vulnerability when we're at that age, right? So it usually takes about 10 years before we really see the difference. So think about if you have some hair loss, right? You don't really see the density of your hair thinning until you've lost a significant amount of hair. And this is the same kind of thing. You need to lose a significant amount of collagen and elastin before you actually notice it. And that's why people usually don't notice it until their mid-30s or early 40s. And then it continues to go downhill, and then level off, in the 70s and 80s. But what we'd like to do is we'd like to say, okay, instead of letting this happen to us and then trying to reverse it, we can also use it in people who are in their 20s and 30s to replenish that factory production and start getting that collagen and elastin production right then and there, so that it's more of a prevention and prejuvenation as opposed to just only reversing. Because let's face it, when we were that age, when we were in our 20s, Joanne and I, we didn't have this option, right? So we have to now use this to reverse. But for those of you who are lucky enough to have this as an option, and you're, in a younger age, it's something that I offer to my patients at all age groups because of this. So aside from the loss of elastin and collagen and hyaluronic acid that we all talk about, we also, as we get older, we lose the fascial support and the ligaments elongate. If you think about it, if you think about sitting in a hammock and you're sitting in that hammock all the time, every day, month after month, year after year, by the time you go out to that hammock again, you go in that hammock and your butt's on the ground, because the fibers just don't have that elasticity. They can't spring back, and they're just basically weak. So if we could find a way to improve the laxity by giving that tightening of the ligaments and tightening the SMAS, which is, again, the SMAS and the ligaments are the support, like the hammock underneath our facial structures. So we need something that goes deep enough that can really target this area underneath the skin. And it's not just the collagen and elastin, but we need to think about deeper levels, like the fascia, like the SMAS, maybe the muscle, things like that can help give us that support. So how do we do that, right? So UltraSculpt actually has an ability to target that root cause, where you get down to the SMAS and the fascia, where you have the elongation of the tendon and you can tighten. And so that gives you the resilience back in your tendons and in your SMAS. And when we do that, then you have that support, like we're talking about, that hammock, and you get that structural support, and it decreases the drooping of the cheeks, the jowls, and the balazial folds. We also get regeneration of collagen, elastin, and increased firmness and tightness over time. And that helps with the overall resilience of the skin and the decrease in laxity. Now, when we talk about doing the ultrasound-induced tendon contraction, we're delivering a low-frequency, unfocused ultrasound into that layer. There's a mechanical effect that causes it to tighten and shorten and contract that gives you that ability to lift. We also are combining it with the patented microRNA serum or cream that Joanne was talking about earlier, which boosts fibroblast activity and therefore increases collagen. So it increases collagen type 1 and type 3, which then improves fine lines and elasticity. But to have a synergistic effect with a patented and studied microRNA serum, this brings a lot of science to this combination. And I am a science geek, I will tell you. And so when I look at different devices and different procedures, I'm always look at like, what's the science? You know, where do you have anything showing a biopsy, or are you measuring the collagen improvement? And they have done this. So this is something that to me is important when you're looking at a device or a treatment. Next slide. So here we're going to see Joanne treating a patient. And this is going to be for facial skin tightening. And one thing I want to point out is that this UltraSculpt device can be used in different energies to do different things. So if you want to just do tightening, like we are on the face, we're going to use a low level of the energy, which will give us tightening, but no decrease in fat. If you're going to use this on the body, then you might want to use something that's going to melt some fat if you're doing the abs, or if you're doing the thighs. You might want something that's going to really get to the adipose tissue and melt the fat and do the skin tightening at the same time. But what's really nice is that you can target where you want this to go. And the transducer that she's using, you can see, is slides really nicely over this microRNA cream. And it feels like a hot stone massage. So it's actually really, really comfortable. You almost would want to just fall asleep while you're doing it, while you're having it done on you. I mean, in my office, very often we'll put candles out, we dim the lights, and we make it more like a spa-like treatment because it does feel that way. You do hear like a ringing sensation from the transducer as the patient. And it's important that it's not annoying. It's just, you do hear it. And it's important that your patient can give you feedback, because if they don't hear that ringing, that means that it's not connecting. You're not getting the penetration from the transducer. So it's something to communicate with your patients. And it's a good way to know that you're right where you want to be. After she finishes the top layer of the periphery of the face right there, which will give you some tightening on the brow area, then she's going to continue to go down to the chin area and the lower face to give a whole periphery of the face treated. And this will take about 15 to 30 minutes. So like I was saying, there is actual skin cell data about this microRNA cream that we're talking about. And the co-inventors are Joanne, who you just heard from, and also the ex-director of P&G Skincare. And together they have a patent on this cream, which is shown in the studies to have a 33% increase in collagen expression through fibroblast activity. So to me, this is important because, again, like I said, I'm really interested in is there science to show that there is actually something going on here. So the synergy of using this cream with the non-focus ultrasound gives you an even better result than using one alone. So this is a biopsy histology showing basically on the left, you see the adipocytes were 162, and then you see the nuclei are in the blue, and you see how it decreases, and that goes to 75. And this shows a 53% reduction in adipocytes with one UltraSculpt treatment. And the reason why this is so important is because this was done on the body looking to decrease fat. And we know that if it goes, the frequency of the ultrasound tells you the depth of where it's going to go. So if it goes down to the fat layer, then when we use it on the face and a decreased energy, so we're not targeting fat and we don't have enough energy to reduce fat, but we do have the depth of penetration. And that penetration, if you can get down to the fat on the body, then you, by definition, are going to get down to the SMAS and to the ligaments on the face. And that's why this is important, because we want to tighten the areas that are going to give more of the support for the face, as opposed to just improving collagen and elastin. We want to get that support structure to have the better resilience and cohesivity. So this is a patient that had one treatment, the before and after. You can see on the left, you can see from the side view, you can see how much better the jawline is, and the nasolabial fold is tighter. You can see even the zygomatic arch of the cheeks are a little lifted. On the frontal view, you can also see that her skin just looks so much better. She looks tighter. Her jawline looks tighter. She doesn't have as much of the jowling, and her eyebrows even look a little lifted. On the lower picture is a pretty dramatic effect on the neck, and you can see a little bit of the fold by the DAO, and the skin around the chin is tighter. But the neck is pretty impressive in this photo. And again, this is after one treatment. So let's talk about other devices, because I have a lot of devices in my office, and how do we pick and choose what we want to use? And that's what we're talking about when we talk about AI, that if we can have a kind of an algorithm for the AI to tell us what the level of skin laxity is in this patient and what would be the options to treat, what would be our best way to go about presenting options to the patient. So of the ultrasound devices, we have the UltraSculpt, which is a low-frequency, unfocused ultrasound, Ultherapy, which is HIFU, and SoftWave, which is parallel beam ultrasound. Now, I like all of these modalities, and they all have their positives and negatives. But just so we can talk about why they're different, the SoftWave and the Ultherapy, again, no downtime, just like UltraSculpt. But the UltraSculpt also is very comfortable. It's a spa-like treatment in the way it feels. Ultherapy, as most of us know, can be very painful, and SoftWave has a little bit of moderate discomfort, much better than some Ultherapy theoretically, but still some people have a little bit of difficulty tolerating it or wanting to just jump in and do it. And you do need to have some numbing cream for that. But with the UltraSculpt, you don't need any numbing cream, and it's a really nice, comfortable procedure, and you see the results right away, and they continue to improve. You also have a dual modality here, because you can use it to decrease fat reduction in different areas or skin tightening. So if you're doing a body area that they don't have a lot of fat, you can use it just for the skin tightening in that area, just like we're using it on the face. For RF microneedling, we know that's a little bit more uncomfortable. And just like with Tixel, they both work really well, and I love them for textural improvement, but they do have some downtime, and it's not without any discomfort at all. And then if you're going to do a resurfacing, whether it's a fractionated CO2 or erbium, then you know it's going to involve some discomfort and a significant amount of downtime. So the only one here that has no downtime and can do that dual modality with fat reduction and skin tightening would be the UltraSculpt. And it's a very easy machine to adapt into your practice for that reason. So we're talking about rejuvenation of senescent cells. So this is a publication that just came out in March of 2025. And basically what it shows is that repeated low-frequency ultrasound treatments led to improved cell growth and physical performance in mice. It also decreases senescent cells and increased their lifespan, which is really interesting, because this is what we're doing with UltraSculpt is repeated low-frequency ultrasound treatment. So if we can use low-frequency ultrasound to get rid of the senescent cells, which cause cell death, then we are improving the lifespan of our cells, and then theoretically of the organism as a whole. So it's basically helps to reactivate fibroblasts, boost collagen, and with the enhancement of the microRNA cream that we just spoke about, you're getting a deeper regeneration and a synergistic effect by using them both together. So it's ideal for the lax skin, aging skin, or the Ozempic / Zepbound post-weight loss skin, but also just for long-term skin health from the inside out, because we don't want those senescent cells. We want the healthy cells, and that's the ones that will respond better to wounding or to daily aging, and that's something that would improve our ability to look better and feel better. So this is a study that we did. Basically, the way we do it in my office is we measure the patient before with a measuring tape. And then I know that Joanne does this with all her patients also. And we mark it with a Sharpie so the patient knows exactly where we're marking it. And then we use the microRNA serum or cream, 30 minutes of this low frequency ultrasound with a 15-minute vacuum that she was discussing, which is almost like a lymphatic massage, and that helps break up the tissues that we've just destroyed from the adipose cells that help it to disintegrate and move out of your body. And then we measure right after treatment. And most of the patients are really happy to see that right after the treatment, they're getting a decrease in their measurements on their around their waistline or around the hips or wherever we are targeting. So people are really jazzed about that. And then they continue to measure a week later and a week and after that. And in the fat reduction, it was an average of 3 to 4 centimeters of loss after just one session, with up to 6 to 7 centimeters in some of the zones. 80% plus retained or improved results at 12 to 24 weeks. And then with repeated sessions, obviously they had ongoing fat loss. For skin tightening, you got instant firming after the treatment with 80 to 86% tighter after 12 to 24 weeks. And this was with documented measurements quantitatively and using the microRNA and the ultrasound to boost collagen together as that synergy like we talked about. Now, one of the things I wanted to bring up here is that what we'd like to do is we'd like to get AI, like Joanne alluded to use our ability to measure those skin tightening and skin laxity even better. And the way we would do this is we would take pictures of different areas of skin laxity, feed it into the AI data bank and tell them, okay, we think this is a level 6, this is a level 7. And then basically AI would learn. And then eventually, after having all this data, we would take a picture of a patient and they would say, okay, this has a laxity of this score, and these are the options. And this is how I would guess best suggest that you go about treating it. But also it would be great to show the skin laxity score before and then after the treatment and 12 or 24 weeks later. And this way we can really monitor with AI how the skin laxity and tightening has improved.
Thank you so much, Amy. That was such an engaging talk, and I always learn so much from you whenever you present. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're so excited to see you. My name is Grace. I work with UltraSculpt clients to help them unlock the best and new revenue using UltraSculpt. So, for example, we will co-host events with all of our clients such that our clients are booking about $30,000 worth of treatment, UltraSculpt treatments in only one afternoon. So I would love to work with you to do so. And before I get into that, I want to just start with this client story. So Jana is one of our clients. She's kind of typical of someone that we're able to see when we're unlocking new revenue when we talk about that with UltraSculpt. So she's a client who maybe didn't go to the med spa very often before because she has an aversion to needles and she doesn't want to do anything painful, anything invasive. But she heard about UltraSculpt and how comfortable and non-invasive, plus the instant results, and she was interested to try. So we actually met her at one of the med spas that we work with, and I would just love to show you how her experience was.
Jana, and today I was just getting this new treatment called UltraSculpt done on my face, and I feel super cool. It tightened my skin. I felt very confident. I love how tight I feel. I really highly recommend. I definitely got the serum to continue with my treatment, and I just love it.
So you can see how she's super satisfied because she saw the results instantly, and she was absolutely convinced with the UltraSculpt science because she saw those results instantly. So convinced that she actually took the microRNA serum that we used during the treatment. She purchased it and bought it to use at home. So we call that as a way to continue the skin tightening treatment when you're at home.
Hi, my name is Jana.
So I always get a lot of questions about how exactly to implement UltraSculpt in your practice. As Dr. Amy was talking about, there's two main ways that you can leverage UltraSculpt in your office. Number one is facial skin tightening, which is mostly what we're talking about today, where you're using UltraSculpt on the scalp, behind and in front of the ears and underneath the chin to achieve a lifting and tightening effect on the face. For these, we usually recommend about 2 to 3 30-minute sessions, all done within 2 to 3 weeks of each other. And this will give your client a really nice effect, and the results are quite long lasting, and you shouldn't really need to do any maintenance treatments except maybe before like a big event, such as a wedding. The other way that you can leverage UltraSculpt is for body contouring. So this is skin tightening plus fat reduction, and you can use it really anywhere on the body as we're an FDA Class 1 medical device. So again, this would be for abdomen, thighs, arms, buttocks, and chin is also very popular. So you can actually combine the chin tightening alongside the facial skin tightening as another way to introduce UltraSculpt in your office. And this is similar where the treatment package is about 3 treatments. You want to do them in close succession so that the treatments have a compounding effect. And each time your client does the treatment, they will see on average 3 to 7 centimeters of reduction of adipose tissue, as well as really visible skin tightening. So you're doing about 3 of these treatments within a couple weeks of each other, and your client will see amazing, amazing results. The other question I get asked quite frequently is how to combine UltraSculpt with other offerings in the office. So obviously you can offer UltraSculpt Classic, which is just you're offering UltraSculpt treatments independently, but you can also combine them with some popular treatments. For example, we have one program where you can combine it with EMS, which is our Remove Fat Build Muscle program. This is very popular because what you do is you take UltraSculpt to remove that top layer of fat to reveal the underlying muscle a little bit better, and then you use EMS to increase that muscle and you get the best muscle definition. You can also, on the flip side, combine UltraSculpt with GLP-1. So this is what Dr. Amy was talking about, where as your client is losing the weight with the GLP-1s, they will begin experiencing stubborn pockets of fat and loose skin. That is just, it's normal with accelerated weight loss. But as they're going through this progressive change with their body, you want to help them keep up the body contour and tighten the skin as they're losing the weight. And you can do that by combining UltraSculpt while your patient is on the GLP-1 therapy. And then specific to facial skin tightening, we can, of course, combine UltraSculpt with filler as well as with Botox. So here we recommend first doing a treatment of UltraSculpt, which really lifts and tightens the face. And then you can apply filler, for example, to rebuild the facial structure or add volume in certain areas. Or you can combine UltraSculpt with Botox, which really just helps to further relax the muscles and smooth out the skin to remove that wrinkling. So again, this is protocols where you can combine UltraSculpt and then do other injectables also on the face. They won't interfere with each other and your patients will have a lovely result.
Yeah, again, it's actually very good to use by itself too. Like if you just have a device and you're a doctor and you're starting your aesthetic side of your practice or wellness side, this UltraSculpt device is really good standing alone as well because it can treat multiple parts of the body and also tighten the face as well.
Yeah, thank you, Joanne. And I'm going to pass it on to my colleagues at Akkio Tech to talk about the amazing cutting edge work that they're doing.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Grace and Dr. Amy and Joanne. This has been such an exciting discussion so far. So hi, everyone. My name is Alexa Frere. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Akkio Tech. And before we get into what Akkio Tech is, my co-founder and I, Prashanta, would love to just share a quick background on ourselves. So quickly, I was born and raised in Miami. I did my undergraduate degree at Princeton University. I've spent my career at the intersection of data and artificial intelligence, leading teams at companies called Palantir, Covariant, and ThoughtSpot, each at the forefront in their respective spaces. I've led high-impact teams across product, sales, and strategy to turn cutting-edge technology like artificial general intelligence and computer vision into real-world results, driving over $100 million in revenue for startups as well as Fortune 500 startups companies.
Hi, everyone. I'm Prashanta, CPO and co-founder of Akkio Tech. I'm a chemical engineer and a formulation scientist with a master's from Carnegie Mellon. I've spent my career in the beauty industry, creating products and building brands, bringing together chemical research data and consumer data to develop breakthrough formulas that power multi-million-dollar indie brands like Drunk Elephant Pharmacy and also global brands, giant brands under the L'Oreal umbrella. Being in the industry for a long time now, something that has always popped up as a sore thumb for me is the lack of technology on the consumer side. We have great technology when it comes to creating these formulas in lab, but when it comes to consumer-facing tech, there is no software that really empowers the patients to make the right purchasing decisions for them. And since co-founding Akkio Tech and working with a lot of aesthetic and wellness businesses, we've just been floored by how underserved this space is when it comes to business technology as well. Now, think of skin analysis. There are so many of these apps for the consumers out there, none of them work. And for the businesses, you have to buy big, bulky equipment, spend thousands of dollars, and you're still slapping technologies and different software platforms to even run your practice. And don't even get me started on the data side of the matter. So we decided to combine our expertise together to close the gap between consumers and businesses. Next slide, please. So together, we are on a quest to revolutionize the aesthetic and wellness industry. By combining our backgrounds in data, AI, deep formula, product, and brand expertise, we've reimagined how aesthetic and wellness businesses grow. Not with generic software that you always see out there, but with platform that is deeply intelligent, adaptable, and purpose-built for this industry to bring the consumer and the business together. Next slide.
Okay, so what is Akkio Tech? So Akkio Tech is an AI-powered marketing platform built specifically to help aesthetic and wellness practices grow. At a high level, our platform has 4 core products that work together to really drive results. So first, an AI-powered questionnaire with tailored recommendations designed to qualify leads, collect key patient data, and drive conversions, whether it's purchasing products, skincare products, or booking consultations or treatments. Then we have a hybrid communication tool like marketing campaigns and automated and manual two-way messaging. So really leveraging technology to create a personalized approach that nurtures, converts, and deepens relationships with patients. Third, a new generation intuitive client relationship management system to automate key workflows, improve efficiencies around that client experience. And then on top of all that, comprehensive analytics to really deeply understand patients, track performance, and to facilitate impactful decision-making for the businesses. Next slide. So why is our platform unique, and what does this really mean for the businesses we work with? The bottom line is it's all about the data collected and how that data really powers all applications of the platform to drive growth. So we are the first AI recommendation engine that recommends not only products, but also treatments. Our completion rate is 6 times the industry average, and our completion rate is 6 times the industry average, and our conversion rates are upwards of 20%. The data we collect is not surface level or fragmented. It is a 360-degree understanding of each patient, and it's dynamic. So as a patient goes through life, is working with a practice, our system is continuously learning and capturing these patient updates. And shockingly, we strongly believe that businesses who work with us should actually have access to their data and be able to digest that data in a really comprehensive and easy manner. This is something some of you may struggle with current platforms that you work with, even being able to see what the data is. Next, our communications piece is not just a regular chatbot, because everyone is so frustrated with them today. They don't work. It's really a combination of automation with the ability for anyone at the practice to drop in and out of the conversation to really ensure that personalized, effective experience. On the CRM side, we've automated several workflows that are historically really manual and tedious. So these workflows include quote automation builder, visual treatment timeline, and patient journey with standardized before and after photos. These not only help practices convert and retain more patients, but they also really improve efficiencies that enable providers to do what they do best, which is treat patients.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
yeah, I just want to echo Alexa and Prasanta's point. I have met with hundreds of successful med spas and doctor clinics throughout the years, and I've always everybody use different system, but I don't think there is one out there now yet to integrate the patient's journey of weight loss, metabolic health with the skin laxity that they were experiencing after they successfully lose weight. But then, like if they're treated by UltraSculpt or other devices, and their skin laxity is really improving, how does it compare over last year, 2 years ago? Because people are gonna forget. We forget very fast. The doctors are not gonna have time to really track who did what over the years, and it's not your responsibility. You shouldn't be focusing on that. You should focus on your academics and your innovation and your research interest and also your practice interest. And but then your team rotates and they do different patients, different times. And so how do you make sure that you capture the excitement that everyone gets after one UltraSculpt treatment or multiple ones? So you want to show them where they started with, and then over the years they get tighter and younger, and then where they were last year and where they are now. So having that journey all in like one software platform is a tremendous help for you to and for repeat clients. So I heard that industry that the best practices usually have 70% or more repeat customers. So just imagine if your clients come to your clinic and you're able to just show it on your computer or iPad, and then just call it. Like 2 years ago you were like this, now this is also you today, and this is you like a year ago. Like how powerful a message that would give you without you spending time to track that data, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really exciting for the patients to be able to look back and see where they started and where they've gone. And it's phenomenal for the business. I mean, before and afters are the best marketing there is, and being able to have this really centralized, easy way to access that and show that journey is really incredible. Thank you so much, Joanne. And so the last kind of unique element I'll touch on is we know no two businesses are the same. And so that's why our platform is fully practice tailored. It's really customizable to reflect each practice's look, tone, and even treatment philosophy. So applying certain rails or business rules around our AI layer, we can absolutely do that. So Akkio Tech is really bridging the gap between personalized care and operational growth. Our goal is to empower patients with smarter, more tailored experiences while giving providers the data, the tools, and the automation they need to deliver better outcomes, build that loyalty, and scale with confidence. Next slide.
Okay, so what are we doing here today? UltraSculpt, Akkio Tech, Dr. Amy, we are all combining forces to create the largest global skin laxity database under this real-world evidence initiative that UltraSculpt has started. And how we do this is first by leveraging AI, computer vision, and your expertise as providers to assess the level of skin laxity for each patient. Then we use that skin laxity score and the collected patient data to explore treatment options and recommend the best and a personalized treatment protocol to each patient. And once they start the treatment, we can track the progress over time, collecting standardized before and after photos, like we were just talking about, and adjusting the treatment plans as needed. Now, all of this data feeds back into the AI models, which are continuously learning and adapting to each patient's needs. So again, to echo Alexa, this is a very exciting step towards changing the game when it comes to skin laxity. Hopefully, this gives you guys an idea of how we are collaborating with UltraSculpt and how we are revolutionizing the aesthetic space.
Exactly. So, sorry I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm
I was going to hand it over to you for your
I'm so excited because just I am a visionary scientist. I'm very down to earth and analytical and scientific oriented, but in the meantime, my forte is to have a common goal that's also feasible but very impactful for industry, and then put together all of our team to walk one step a day, one step at a time towards that common goal and be successful. So we're going to be winners together. When we build this large database, which is not extra work for you, we use all the nice device, which is UltraSculpt, and you can gain income from the device, and you also can be part of our RWE Skin Laxity initiative of the world. And also we will use AI to relieve you from routine work, but your contribution and your impact and your advice on how to apply to the best clinical settings would be invaluable. So I'll let Dr. Amy Lewis to provide some more comments right here. Is that okay, Amy?
Yeah, thank you. That was really a great presentation with the AI. And I think that we all know that AI is going to be in a lot of our industries, and we should really take advantage of the ability to leverage that technology for our ability to let patients see the quantitative difference before and after, which I think is amazing. So this is the patient that was actually having what I call the spa treatment that we saw earlier on that video, where she was relaxing and having Joanne treat her entire periphery of her face. And you can see on the left that her skin is definitely tighter. The nasolabial folds are tighter. The jawline looks better. And if you look right under the black line, which is where the eyes are, you can see that on the left, you almost see like a hollowing and a shadowing under the eyes, where on the right, it's pretty much gone. And then on the side views, you see a dramatic improvement in the jawline and the jowling on the face. You can see also there's a effacement of the nasolabial folds and the medial folds, which is a little lower where the DAO is. And you can see how it's tighter and pulled back from the before picture. And that's on both sides of the face. It's pretty interesting. You can also see the cheek is lifted, and so the zygomatic arch is lifted higher and more laterally. And the junction between the jawline and the neck is also much more distinct. So this is a very impressive improvement immediately after the results. And obviously these patients are followed, and, you know, Joanne has after pictures from people who were treated and then followed up, you know, months later, and with or without additional treatments. But like Grace had said, we do recommend multiple treatments to get the best results. But this is a pretty dramatic result with one where, again, as I said before, no downtime, no discomfort, in and out, and the patients actually enjoy the treatment. So this is something that I think, again, for those reasons, are easy to implement into your practice. I also post a lot of my before and afters on my Instagram. If anybody ever wants to look, it's Lewis Dermatology, Lewis Dermatology. And I do post a lot of my before and after UltraSculpt and other devices on my Instagram.
Thank you. And just for the fun, can all the participants give us your skin laxity readout? Because I won't ask Amy to give her readout until everyone gives yours. That way we could compare.
So I just launched a poll. You should be able to put in your answer on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, what skin laxity score you would give the before photo versus what skin laxity score you would give the after photo. So I'd love to see those answers come in.
While you guys are doing that, we have a comment from Carrie. I think these photos are of her. She says, this has been so confidence boosting for me, which is so exciting to see.
Yes.
So Carrie, how far out are you after this treatment?
I don't think she could talk, but she could comment.
Yeah, she has to go into the chat
webinar
box.
set up. Sorry. It's just how Zoom webinar is. They don't allow participants.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yes. But I can say, Carrie Ann, I'm sorry, I'm sharing some of your info, but you said that a lot of guys are checking you out.
Oh my God. And she says, I'm in love and obsessed.
Yes. Yes.
High praise. That's really
And it boosts her social life.
Yes.
That's our love life. What more could you ask for?
Yes. And I received a face tightening myself, two treatments, and then I had guys at gas station asking if I finished college or not. So that was I'm 57-year-old, so quite a compliment. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
So everybody
Yes.
that can't go grocery shopping and not get a date.
That
Yes.
should literally be the marketing for
Yes.
Yes. Another marketing that actually one of the clients said that, oh, I told my husband I was getting a cup of coffee. And then she got like a 30-minute treatment and no downtime. And she went home and, like much more beautiful than when she came out. So it was really cool too.
So the results are in. We're seeing scores from about 3 to 4 for before, and then the after we have scores ranging between 7 and 10. So some general agreement, but would love Dr. Amy to comment on this.
Yeah, I agree with the 3 to 4. She's obviously not a 1 or 2. You see a lot more skin laxity in other people with more, solar damage. And then on the after, I would go in the 7 to 8 range, to be honest. I think that, it's amazing. Carrie, you look great. I think that we could tighten you even more with another treatment, which I don't know if that would be good for your social life. You might go overboard, but you want people to walk outside the house. But and you're welcome for that. But I think that you look amazing.
Great.
I think I brought Carrie into the panel if she wants to say a couple of words about how her UltraSculpt experience was. I think you might be able to unmute.
Hi.
Hi, Carrie.
You can't see me, right? I look like a mess.
No.
I wanted to invite anybody to reach out to me. I can provide like the latest pictures and things like that. This isn't like a plug, but I do own a spa in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, and I begged Joanne to create a face service because I have been in aesthetics for 26, 27 years, and my clients love my facials. So I was like, this is the next thing I definitely want to bring to them. I am literally obsessed with this. I think I stopped talking about facials and I only talk about UltraSculpt. I think everyone's officially over me, but I really don't care. I do have my spa at Skin Love Beauty Body Bar on Instagram. If you want to see like actual videos of what I look like now, my confidence has been boosted to like unbelievably. I was so self-conscious. I had lost 35 pounds. I felt like I finally lost the weight, but I look very aged. The results for my whole body, my belly, my arms. We started to do the BBL the other day. Joanne's gonna actually do a demo BBL on me, maybe a training video if I'm brave enough to have that be posted. But this has been such a game changer for me personally, but my clients can see the boost in my confidence. They know I'm excited about it. They know that I will never offer a service in my practice, in my spa, that doesn't work because I don't work that way. If it doesn't work for me, I don't bring it into the building. And I can't say enough about this. I can't say enough about it. I just could talk about it all damn day. I love it. And literally yesterday, a guy, was looking at my sign looking for a rental office for like storage units and stuff. And I now rent that building. And I opened up the door and he was like, "Hi, you're beautiful." And I was like, "Cut it out." And we're going out for coffee. So this is what's happening, and it's real. The results, or not the results, the oogling, whatever you call it, whatever gawking, whatever the word is, wherever I go, people are like, "Hi, hi." And that was not happening before I did this face service. So I really do believe in it, and I really do love it. And the clients just love it. They feel like it is like a hot stone massage. You hear that the noise when you're getting it done, but initially it's like, what is that? And then eventually it just turns into like a lulling kind of noise and you almost fall asleep. I could have fallen asleep if we weren't doing a video because I was trying to pay attention. So anyway, I won't monopolize, but I do love it and I do believe in it. So thank you for letting me speak.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Carrie Ann, for everything. Thank you for our panelists and Dr. Amy Lewis and everyone that's participating. And please, we will follow up with you after the webinar and get your feedback. And but I really enjoyed our session today. And hopefully you provide some more suggestions. What else you want to see on our next webinar, we'll definitely continue. So look forward to talking each one of you one-on-one